seek out to disrupt the lane wherever his Alice is in. Because if Grok doesn't get that stun onto the wall, he gets like that momentary knock-up that an Alice can use to go in, get the stun, and get the combo.
Yeah, and get some good damage in.
Yeah.
Right? You also get a little bit of stun from that Alice, so expect some good synergy between Yaoi as well as James. So we're heading into the game. LPE versus NXP game number 3. Let's head into the fight.
Litho Wanderer gets secured there by NXP. So the Stone Roamer, that new little creep that you see there, that spawns after the Litho Wanderer gets taken down, that actually provides vision. So now the members of LPE are going to be seen for the next 5 seconds because they just stepped in the zone and just broke that Stone Roamer. At this point of the game, though, not a big factor, but we've seen it in the past 2 days that vision provided by the new Stone Roamer creep comes in big.
Yeah, it is. It does do some pretty good stuff, enabling you to plan ahead, enabling your team to plan ahead and try to go for the right objectives. Like, for example, you see the enemy go for a purple buff, you can go for the opposite side, and it just opens up so much possibilities, especially in this game where you kind of need to rely a lot on those to get ahead, because the small things are going to make a big impact in this one.
All right. Now, JTT is going to be going up James's Alice in the bottom lane here. Now, what do you think about that matchup?
Now, earlier on, we will expect some good pressure for JTD, but I feel like that's going to fade eventually, right? As you head later on into the game, you're kind of going to see LPE rise up over the opposition. But at the same time, Alice does do that as well, right?
Yeah.
That's why you put Alice on the gold lane. So, I don't know. I feel like there's just 50... That bottom side is 50-50 for me.
It's going to really be up to the rotations again, going back to Yaoi. NXP, a lot of their tempo is going to be set by the rotation of Yaoi here on that Grok, who does not go for the Rafflesia style high and dry, but instead goes for the pull yourself together.
That's the classic Grok.
Classic Grok, yeah, exactly. And now BMO is rocking with the focusing mark, so that just means every kick, every upgraded basic attack kick from that Bruno is gonna hurt even more if BMO can land some damage on the target as well.
Yeah, and so far I feel like Aspect is playing very, very safe in this game. With only Yaoi spotting him out here, and Turtles already half, could be big.
And let's see who's going to take the first turtle of the game. It's going to go to LPE. Ryota gets to secure the stun there and the kill onto Land C. And NXP, LPE says see you later because James has to get away from here, cannot give up any more kills. But look at Ryota and are still going for the chase and securing it. Now, BMO is playing the Rafaela, not your traditional tank. There are no traditional tanks here in LPE. Ours is rocking a mage build type, Sylvana. Something that you brought up when we were talking off camera like a few days before is that teams will want to look into building more of your magic-based Sylvana.
Yeah, instead of the usual like instant defensive items, because you want to capitalize. And this is the right way to do it. That's exactly the right way you want to build a Sylvana these days. You want to go for the late game build. Magic damage increases your lifesteal, increases your survivability as well.
That's why the concentrated energy is going to be the main first item here being built up by Arvs. And XP, see how they're going to play this out. They have more of a traditional lineup that we know of, while BMO rocking that Rafaela. It's more of what we set up earlier in game number 1 where we were talking about the Indonesian idea of the first strike meta where you don't have your traditional tank here. But that means LPE is in a bit of a timer. Let's see if they're going to be able to make something out of this. That's going to be a big team fight. Deadly Cash has been brought out here by Renegade, but deals a lot of damage to LPE, but LPE are still fighting. They have the sustain, they have the damage. Yaoi gets Ryota coming in,
misses.
Does not land the stun. He gets the third hit onto Renegade with the ultimate bravest fighter, but they're not going to be able to convert. Really, really close call there by both of these two teams, but Renegade could be up next. Blazing Duet has been popped out by Jake the Dog. An early rotation out of lane for him. LPE were not able to convert. That could have been really bad for NXP.
But NXP is able to get out just in time. Now, the ultimate for the bravest fighter, I don't know. I feel like that was just a big misstep. There was no other way to say that. That is a misplay from Ryota. Let's see if he can make it up though, as we do see LPE converging once more around the turtle area. They really want this onto the player like Aspect. Imagine Bruno with a turtle buff at this point. It's gonna be very scary.
Yeah, Ryota has 2 kills already and has a bit of a lead over the Alice, so he's going to be more effective in this team fight. Lancy already used that feathered airstrike just for 1 pop. The turtle got reset for a bit though, as LPE are going to continue it. James is there to try to disrupt to take down the turtle, but that's a killing spree now for Ryota, getting the kill onto H2O. As that happens, at the same time, Yaoi got taken out. What a control play there by LPE for that objective.
And I feel like I just said the words. I said the words came out of my mouth and it happened right on our screens. Bruno, Aspect getting the turtle buff will only make it so much harder for NXP to take out this main carry.
Yeah, that's because BMO is there for the holy healing if Aspect will need it. So for the next few minutes, NXP have to watch their feet, where they go, where they step, lest they run into a shrub and Aspect just kicks a ball right into their face.
If that happens, like the minimum amount of hits is like free empowered hits. You go near a bush, that's 1, going away 2, and then a possible third. Now, there's going to be a big fight happening on top side. H2O doing the hard carry as he usually does. Followed with Yaoi with a wild charge, locks down Jake the dog.
But here comes Ryota. Let's see if he can make up for it again. But the sidestep by Yaoi does not get stunned. So Ryota misses the stun again, but now he's 3-0-0. Steps ahead of James with the Alice. So again, that Lapu Lapu is still gonna be more effective in a team fight if it happens, as Lance is forced to use the wings by wings to fly out there. Reset by both squads.
Yeah, it's a good reset. And NXP finally getting a foothold, at least on the opposite side of the map. Top side is already a lost cause. They said, why don't we go for a bottom push? We got a turtle spawning here soon. Taking out the tower should be big. Provide them some vision, some control on the map.
And now NXP decide to split it up, sacrifice a turret, but LPE is still in the lead with 1. Renegade has to be really careful here as Aspect, BMO, and Arms.
There you go.
That. The flicker forward of the Comedic Lance secures the pick off onto Renegade, but LPE will not be able to get that turret. I'm pretty sure they really wanted that, but they're going to be happy with the kill.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get some pressure on top side with NXP converging on mid. Turtle is going to be big. Jake the Dog's already in position, but I don't think they can take it anytime soon. However, again, LPE, they know that they cannot leave this away for long. They start to go for it.
Cometic Lance means that Lancy is forced to use the
Feathered
feathered
airstrike.
airstrike to help him.
Oh no!
Oh no, he's gonna try to save the last hit, but it runs out. But the turtle is somehow miraculously stolen by James. The heist of the game, as LPE cannot even punish. NXP immediately get out of there, but now LPE have their eyes set on the middle of the tower as Lancy gets eaten up by that Divine Justice in the combination from Ryota. James is gonna go in with a flowing blood, trying to stop the minion waves and deal damage there, but he gets stunned. H2O eats up a lot of damage. He's forced to go back. LPE deal a lot of damage to Yaoi, but are not going to be able to push enough into the turret. But good punish there by LPE. Good trade, I mean. The fact that they lost that turtle by a beautiful steal by James Z. Of course, what are you going to do next? Get that turret.
Get that turret and enable the rest of your team to go for a bit of a disengage. You basically did your job there. And again, that was beautifully done there. Now the big thing. This is what we need to talk about. They're denying the turtle buff very well.
Yeah.
Right? Great job for NXP, but is that enough to stop Aspect at this point? I feel like his Bruno has scaled off so much. This Bruno is just so safe in the big team fights that the Bruno is getting so much gold.
Yeah, and Bruno is one of those heroes that snowballs really, really fast. And it's a big deal, the fact that he gets the first turtle of the game. Coach Panda is actually one of those coaches who believes that if you get the first turtle, more often than not, you will win the game.
You got some good tempo.
Yeah,
you get good tempo.
Good tempo, and the tempo was stopped a bit by that steal from James.
It's just good job, by the way. I was surprised. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't... I still can't, like, I'm playing it back in my head. I still don't know how exactly it happened.
I know.
It just did.
It's something that shouldn't happen, but somehow LPE, again, minor mistake. They don't. I don't think James didn't even have retributions. I don't know. Big fight here.
Remember, this is a double marksman lineup, and with that, even though they were threatened by the feathered airstrike, they had the basic attack damage to just burn down that turret. Now, NXP have to be really careful here. They have great damage, they have great burst, but Renegade has not had a good time. He was completely pressured by LPE. It's going to take some time for his Deadly Catch and Rum to absolutely burn down the members of LPE.
Yeah, because right now the scaling is still it's not that good yet for Renegade. He's 0-2-1. 4.8k gold lead. He's still one of the most richest players on the team, but not by much.
Yeah, and now someone gets bursted down. That is going to be Arvs with that Sylvana getting taken out there. The Lord spawns, but Ryota is pressuring the bottom lane. Watch out for that on your map as a fight happens here, close to the top side as NXP want to go for that turret.
Good goal.
LPE, let's see.
Yeah.
No one develops from that. Not much happens. No big trades. Both teams are just trying to feel out one another, how they're going to move this and how they're going to handle this.
Yeah, because right now LPE needs to be calm and collected. They know they're in the lead. They can feel it. They don't see the numbers, but they can feel it, right? But so far, I think Yawi wants to go and do something.
And he did something, opened up that pickoff. Aspect is the one who gets taken out, but they still have Jake the Dog. The marksman is still there to deal damage. Let's see if he's going to go in with a Blazing Duet or if he'll try to fight and basic attack someone down. H2O gets focused down by Arvs and gets a kill there onto H2O. Both carries are down for both teams, but again, double carry here for LPE, and Renegade felt that. Yawi might be feeling that next. Lancey just got taken out. Yawi just got taken out.
My
and
God.
a double kill for the Lapu Lapu. Ryota is now 5-0-1.
He was listening to us earlier. He said, all right, you guys want me to make up for that big misplay? Here you go.
Yeah.
So, as we did see, the engagement here from Arvs was huge. He basically neutered H2O in that engagement with the Kinetic Lance, with a Spiral Strangling Spell Vamp. And after that, it was just a very easy cleanup for the rest of the team.
That was a beautiful setup though by Yawi and the rest of NXP. Renegade using the Deadly Catch for the burst. Any other team probably would have decided to call that off and back off, which would have really risked LPE getting chased down by NXP. But LPE remembered that Jake the Dog is here. I think we got to catch out H2O, and they did. Just a great play there. Good thing you highlighted Arvs. I feel like he really kept that alive.
Yeah, I mean, BMO can play Sylvana, Arvs can play Sylvana. You got two big Sylvana players on this team. Apparently, Arvs can do it pretty darn well as well.
BMI forced to go back here is Jake the Dog, but he has the information that the members of NXP are just base locked right now. They're in quarantine. They cannot go out of home as the Lord marches in the bottom lane. This could be big, Rockhard.
Lord says we got a curfew, boys. Get back in your bunk. And we'll see if they can push, though. It's going to be difficult for them to push because of the wave clear that's present in NXP. And, of course, the Guardian Barrier is just massive, but let's see.
Feathered Airstrike committed. Blazing Duet does not land on enough members of NXP as that Deadly Catch is deadly for LPE. Takes out JTD and Arvs, but Renegade gets taken out there on NXP side. LPE still has the marksman to push down a turret. So despite a really well-handled team fight by NXP, LPE still walk away with an inhibitor turret break.
Yeah, and again, that's all you want for that push. I didn't even expect them to go and take the inhibitor turret, but they do, which is a great, at the expense of Arvs and Jake the Dog, but still, mission accomplished in terms of pushing. Now, NXP, they got a small opening here with Jake the Dog just fresh off of the respawns. Can they do anything about it?
Ryota though, gets knocked up, eats up the wild charge right away. NXP could have gotten a pick off there, but Ryota was able to dash out. Now, you mentioned something that is a strength of this NXP lineup.
Here we go.
I thought that's going to be a Cometic Lance stun onto Lance C. Gets lanced in the face by the Cometic Lance. How many times can I say Lance as LPE marches down the mid lane? They smell blood. They look to end this. It's a 5 versus 4. They have a double marksman, but they're waiting for the minion waves. Can NXP clear it off? They have really good minion wave. Deadly Catch just to destroy the minion wave, so LPE cannot get overexcited here. They can't end the game just yet because of the strength I was talking about. I was about to ask you that NXP has. They have really good wave clear.
Yeah, we talked about it. We said it before the big Lord fight earlier, and we are going to say it again. That is great wave clear on the side of NXP. You also have an Alice with a Winter Truncheon that can go really, really deep in the enemy territory. And LPE needs to get creative here because this is not going to be an easy push.
Yeah, NXP have the right tools to handle the waves. They can drag this out, but do they actually have a lineup for a really good late game?
They probably
I mean?
do. They can probably, keep up. But you have to remember, Roger's not that great in late game. Roger's usually early to mid game very, very good with the Lycan pounce, but after the pounce, usually very vulnerable unless you had some good items.
Orange buff getting contested here by LPE. They decide to back off as all the members of NXP are there. Just ensure that H2O has it now. H2O on a hero that you just mentioned does not scale well into the late game, and we've barely felt H2O in this game. So far, we've seen more of Renegade and Lancy, but NXP just really couldn't get the ball rolling for their main jungler carry.
Yeah.
While LPE have stuck to the strengths of their lineup really, really well.
Yeah, and again, I was talking about the Roger, that's unless you get some good items, right? That's the borderline. You can go into the late game, just make sure you're like items ahead of your opposition carry, which is not the case here. So they're gonna have to really max the wave clear out, drag this on to maybe 24 minutes so they can get into even footing. Because right now, LPE, they're starting off on the Lord.
Now, Deadly Catch is going to be available for this baiting. Could be big for NXP to zone out the members of LPE and burst them down to get this Lord. But LPE decide to reset it. They say it's a little bit too risky, but they're still playing around it. Aspect focusing on the Lord. Good zone out here by Arvs, Bimo, and Jake the Dog. The members of NXP can't get close. Guardian's Barrier means that Yawi and the rest of NXP have to take the long way around. But now Yawi's there in the back. Yawi's there to disrupt. But the members of NXP have fallen down. The tank has left them. And that's Renegade, H2O, Lancy bursted down. A triple kill there by Aspect. Yawi could be up next. Make it a maniac!
By, oh my gosh, LPE and Aspect is what we were talking about, man. One wrong move, if you get into a bad bush with Aspect, with a Bruno there, you will suffer, and suffer they did. I cannot believe how strong Aspect is right now.
That is it. That means most likely it is game. James, though, just trying to manage the minion wave, but James almost taking that arms godlike for Aspect. An unofficial 5-man kill there by him, but James actually saved the game.
He saved it! He saved the game!
One hit!
Oh! That is brutal. This is just how you do it, LPE, man. They're scraping in. They're holding on for dear life. And again, it will be an uphill climb, but Yawi does have some info. He knows the Lord is happening here with Jake Dog on the chase. Wild charge out of there. But Lord should be an easy take for LPE.
Okay, now LPE is probably thinking, okay, we'll run that again, but this time we'll try to break it. But that's Yawi is really, really low. They're committing skills, but they're waiting for that Lord to push through. Yawi's just buying time. He might be going down here. The longer he stands, the higher the chance, though, that he's going to miss out for the Lord to come out. Maybe by the time it gets to base, Yawi's just about to come back, but the Lord's taking his sweet time.
The Lord is taking his sweet time, and that's just what happened in the late game. Now, Jake the Dog has some pretty good amount of damage right now on that claw. It's very, very scary. It could be bad here for NXP. Again, without the Guardian Barrier to hold that mid lane, imagine this should be an easy entry here for LPE.
9 seconds until Yawi comes back. NXP are going to try to hold on as long as they can. They have the wave clear. They have the burst damage. So Jake the Dog takes a lot, but that's going to be suppressed onto Renegade. As Renegade is about to fall down, he goes down.
Lord,
going to be Bane goes down, and they're going to be focusing on the base. LPE wins the series by winning Game 3. Welcome to the